What is going on, guys? Trenches Fleet here, back at it again with another video. Guys, today I'm doing another tier list video, but this time we're going to be going through and ranking all of the Star Wars characters from the movies. So keep in mind, this is only the characters from the movies, so there won't be characters like Ahsoka or Ezra or anyone, or the Mandalorian, any of those characters from the shows. Just going to be looking at characters from the movies here, and yeah, let's go ahead and get right into this tier list. So something worth keeping in mind, guys, as you can see down here, so included in these different characters are like different versions of the same characters. So we have like prequel Obi-Wan and original Obi-Wan. I'm going to be counting them all as the same, so I'm not going to be putting prequel Obi-Wan in a different place from original Obi-Wan. They're all Obi-Wan, you know, even if it's played by a different actor. I'm going to be counting all characters as just one kind of bundle deal for the ones that include different versions of the same character. So, with that said, let's go ahead and dive right into this. Okay, first up is good old Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader, because, you know what, guys, some people like to consider them as different characters, but they're the same character, guys. Darth Vader's arc is not complete without Anakin's. And Anakin's story is not complete without Darth Vader. Guys, they're going in the S tier easily. I mean, first of all, Darth Vader is just one of the best villains in, just all of cinema, really. And he is just so cool. He has such a menacing presence. And of course, his redemption in Return of the Jedi, what a great scene. That's got to be probably my favorite scene in all of Star Wars. Also, Anakin Skywalker, seeing his journey to the dark side. Yes, even young Jake Lloyd, Anakin Skywalker, all part of Anakin's story. I just really love it. So I'm going to put in the S tier. And next up is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan is going in the S tier as well. Obi-Wan's journey is just really awesome to see. Seeing him mentor both Luke and Anakin. It's, yeah, honestly, Ewan McGregor is probably one of the best parts of the prequel trilogy, his portrayal of Obi-Wan. So, next is Qui-Gon Jinn. This is a really interesting character, very underrated, I think. I'm going to go ahead and put him in the A tier. He is definitely one of the best parts of the Phantom Menace. Really, he's kind of the main character of that movie, and it's just really cool to see how he begins to mentor Anakin, how he mentors Obi-Wan, and just the way that he takes a different approach from the Jedi Council. So, Qui-Gon going in the A tier. Next up, guys, we have Padme. I think I'm going to put Padme in the A tier as well. She fights in the Battle of Geonosis. Like, she's the only senator to do that. So she's pretty awesome. Now we got R2. I'm going to put R2 in the S. Like, what else can I say? R2, so many moments where just R2 saves everyone's life. He's classic. He's loyal. He's the droid you want at your side. R2's got to be in the S tier. And if we're talking about R2, we got to talk about 3PO. I think I'm going to put 3PO in the A tier. Some people think 3PO is annoying. I don't think he's annoying. I think he honestly works as comic relief. It wouldn't be the same without him, you know? And he has a lot of funny moments throughout the saga. So, next up is Yoda. Yoda, I'm just going to sneak right here into the S tier, because Yoda is definitely one of my favorite characters. Plus, he has so many iconic lines. The way he talks inspired, like, an entire new way of talking, like, backwards, basically. So, Yoda, definitely iconic. Next is Jar Jar Binks. Oh, man. Everyone loves to hate on Jar Jar. I definitely don't hate Jar Jar. I think I'll put him in the C tier, because, you know what, I don't actively dislike him. I'm gonna save like D and F tier for characters I do not really like. And Jar Jar, he's dumb, he's goofy, yeah, but I don't really mind him. I don't know, maybe it's because I watched the prequels when I was a kid and I was just like, all right, Plus, the Darth Jar Jar theory is just probably one of my favorite Star Wars theories out there. So yeah, gonna have to give him some points for that. Speaking of Dark Lords of the Sith, let's go ahead and rank Palpatine. Now, it's kind of hard to rank Palpatine, right? Because it's not like I like him. He is created to be just the epitome of evil. But he's such a good villain that I think I have to put him in the S tier. Palpatine is just pure evil, nothing good about him. He is the true enemy throughout the entire saga, you know? And he is such a good villain. I mean, Ian McDiarmid does such a good job. So I gotta put him in the S tier. Next up is Mace. Mace Windu, I'm gonna put him in the A tier. I'm gonna put him in the A tier because he's got to be like one of the coolest Jedi for sure. I mean, the purple lightsaber, like, Mace is awesome, but Mace is kind of a jerk. I mean, that whole, you're on this council, but we don't grant you the rank of master. It's like, come on. General Grievous, oh man, okay, here's where like, there are some of these I'm definitely gonna be pretty biased. I'm putting Grievous in the A tier, not because he has A tier levels of character development. I just always thought General Grievous was so cool. Next up is Darth Maul, another great prequel villain. And honestly, Maul is going in the S tier. Not based on the movies. Only because they brought him into the Clone Wars and they really did his character right. And I know this list is technically just a movies list, but I have to consider Darth Maul's development in the Clone Wars. I mean, they really took a character that was cool looking, but not that deep, and made him a very complex and interesting character. Chugging right along here, I'm gonna have to start going faster or else this video is going to just last forever. We have Dexter Jetster. Dexter is going in the D tier. Dexter is just weird. He kind of makes me uncomfortable. Dooku, I think, goes in the A tier. I think, you know, he's another one that could have had a lot more development than he did. I mean, I think Christopher Lee is just so cool in this role. So Dooku's great. I'm gonna put him in the A tier because he's cool, but would love to see more development from him. Next, we got Kit Fisto. Oh man, this is another character that was just made better by the Clone Wars. Clone Wars really brought a lot of these like background Jedi characters and gave them a lot more personality, and I really like that. I'm gonna go ahead and toss Plo Koon up in the A tier as well. He's like a great mentor to Ahsoka. He is just really expanded upon in the Clone Wars a lot. Ayla Secura, I think I'm gonna put her in the B tier. We didn't get a ton of her in Clone Wars. Ki-Adi-Mundi, you know, I think I'm gonna honestly put him with good old Jar Jar here, like in the C tier. I do get sad when he gets killed in Order 66, but you know, that's that, I guess. Newt Gunray, you know, I'll put Newt Gunray in the C tier. Let's go ahead and get Jango Fett up in the B tier. Jango is really cool. Now, Boba, I honestly would have ranked fairly low if it were not for the Mandalorian. And even though Kid Boba, I think, is a little bit annoying, a little bit silly, Boba Fett is going in the A tier just because they finally made him cool. Commander Cody, I think I'll put him like top of the C tier. He could maybe go in the B tier because all we see of him in the movies is Order 66. I've just associated him with that for so long. I think I have to put him in the C. Next up is Anakin's mother, Shmi Skywalker. This is such an underrated character. She's sort of like the beginning of the Skywalker lineage as we know it in the movies. But yeah, I mean, she's just such a great character. Next, we have Poggle the Lesser. I'm gonna put him in C tier. Captain Tarpals, I'm actually gonna put him in the B tier. He actually gets like a really cool scene in the Clone Wars, and because of that, I'm putting him in the B tier, believe it or not. Next up is Captain Typho. I'm like, some of these are just so obscure. I'm like, man, like, where do I even rank these characters? I mean, I think I'll just put him in the C tier, probably above these like villain characters. Captain Panaka, I'm actually gonna put him in B tier. He's kind of sick, not gonna lie. We need more Captain Panaka, for sure. Next is Tarful. I'm gonna put him in B tier. I mean, he's just like, I love Wookiees. And as we're going along, guys, keep in mind, some of these top ones I might like sort of put in order. So like, for example, I'll put like Vader, Anakin before like Yoda. But I don't know, try not to focus on the order too much because these are a lot of characters to rank. So I'm just kind of putting them in whatever tier feels right, you know what I mean? With that said, let's keep going. We got Watto. Now, Watto is going to be our first F tier character. Watto has just no redeeming qualities about him, and not in the same way as Palpatine. Boss Nass, I just find him hilarious, so I'm gonna put him in the C tier. Next up is, all right, this is one of the few characters I kind of forget her name. This is Keira Knightley, aka Padme's double in the Phantom Menace. I think it's like Sabe or something. I honestly forget this character's name. Sebulba is like Watto in that he was made to be a very unlikable character, and they succeeded. Chancellor Valorum. This is a character that was made to be incompetent. Next is Jocasta Nu. I think she's gonna join Dexter here in the D tier because she's just like, I mean, she's so unhelpful to Obi-Wan. Oh man, here we go. We got a good one, guys. We got Luke Skywalker. If you guys don't know, this is my favorite Star Wars character. So I'm gonna, hold on. There we go. Putting him very top of the S tier. His journey from farm boy to Jedi Knight, it's just unparalleled, I think. The hero's journey he goes through. And then for him to, you know, have made this great mistake and go into exile, but then come back from that and save the day ultimately in the sequels, like, I just think that's really cool. Next we have Leia. Leia is also going in the S tier, 100%. I'm put her pretty high up. She's just super awesome, you know. There's this whole plot. It's like, we got to go rescue the princess, and then when they do, she just completely takes charge and says, all right guys, like, let's do this, you know. Like, so it's just so awesome to see her sort of like subvert that idea of damsel in distress. She doesn't take no crap from nobody, and then it's like to see her go on to be like a mentor in the sequel trilogy. I think it's really great. I love seeing her use the Force. I love seeing that she had Jedi training. And next up, rounding out our original trio from the original trilogy, is Han Solo. Guys, you know I gotta put Han Solo in the S tier. I mean, where else could I put him? He is just, oh, let me put it in order. He is just easily one of the coolest characters. Right off the bat, when we meet him in the cantina on Tatooine, Han's entire journey is just great, from being selfish, only thinking about himself, to becoming a general in the rebellion. It's great, so gotta be in the S tier. Next is Admiral Akbar. This is another one where I'm gonna let some bias slip in. First of all, I mean, he is the meme king. It's just really great to see this man throughout the entire saga. I was really sad that they just sort of killed him off screen in The Last Jedi. Like, that was definitely not it. But I mean, Admiral Akbar is just, he always does what's right, you know. He's always there to fight the good fight. Next up is Wedge Antilles. I'm gonna put Wedge like top of the B tier, I think. And then next up is Biggs. Biggs, who we only see in episode 4. I'm gonna also put him in the B tier, a bit lower than Wedge. Ooh, starting to get into the Rogue One characters. At least we have one here, and that's Baze Malbus. You know what? I'm thinking A tier for Baze. I really like this character a lot. Oh man, next is BB-8. I mean, let's slide him in right here. He's so cute. He just rolls around. Yeah, BB-8's got to be in the A tier. Next up is Tobias Beckett, aka Woody Harrelson from Solo. I think I'm gonna put him in the B tier. I don't know. I mean, C tier, I guess. Like, what is there to say about Aunt Beru besides her, you know, cooking something up for Luke in the kitchen, or you know, giving the blue milk? All right, we got Bib Fortuna next. Put him in the D tier. Bib Fortuna is very uncomfortable. I mean, like, look at it. He is just not pleasing to look at. Up next is Bodhi Rook. I think I'm going to slide him like somewhere here in the B tier. Okay, next up, we got Bosk. What is there to say about Bosk? I mean, I'll put him in the B tier because he's kind of cool. Next we got, oh man, things are starting to get full here on the tier list, but we got Lando Calrissian. I think I gotta put Lando in the S tier. He's iconic from his very first scene in Empire Strikes Back. Billy D. Williams just really brings such charm to this character. Yeah, Lando's gotta go in the S tier. We have Cassian Andor. I'm gonna put him in the A tier as well. Oh man, Chewie's gotta get in the S tier. I mean, like, I gotta, let's see, I'll put him like right here, yeah. Chewie is just another very consistent part of the movies. He appears in all 3 trilogies, and he's just, like, you can always count on him. Next is Chirrut Imwe, also from Rogue One. I think he's my favorite character from Rogue One, so I'm gonna put him right here in the A tier. I don't even know this character's name. I know it's Carrie Fisher's daughter, so that's pretty cool. Here we have DJ. This character is just kind of weird. Gonna put him in the D tier. I'm gonna put Emva's Nest in the B tier, just because like she's cool. She's cool looking. Now we have Finn. Ah, man, good old Finn. I'm gonna put Finn right here, top of the A tier. Finn is a character who just had such a strong start with his stormtrooper, defecting from the stormtroopers, but I feel like they still need to round out his story. I feel like Finn being a Jedi is something that needs to happen. So that's why I'm not gonna put him in the S. I'm gonna put him in the A. All right, next is Galen Erso. I think I'm gonna put him in the B. Greedo goes in the C tier, because I mean, I don't know, he's just Greedo. He just dies. Admiral Holdo, you know, I mean, probably gonna put her in the D. I mean, she really just should have told Poe the plan, so then, you know, he wouldn't have led a mutiny against her. But she did not. I mean, you gotta give her credit for the hyperspace ram scene. Like, that is a sick scene. General Hux, I think, is like actually a really good villain. I'm gonna put him in the B tier. He's unlikable in the way that you want to not like a villain, you know what I mean? Not like Watto or something. IG-88 is cool. If it was IG-11, he'd be higher, but I feel like I gotta give Jabba some credit for being a good villain. But Jabba is a character that I definitely do not like. Bail Organa. I gotta put this man in the A tier. Next is Jyn Erso. I think I'm gonna put Jyn Erso like top of the B tier. K2SO, I think, belongs in the A tier. Next is Director Krennic. I actually think Director Krennic is like pretty similar to General Hux. I'll put him up more up towards the top, like right here next to Jyn. Next we got Kylo Ren. Oh man, easily. Hold on, I'm just scroll up a little bit. There we go. Easily, I think he has the best arc in the sequel trilogy. Gonna go ahead and toss him like, I mean, pretty high up, honestly. Like, I'll put him like right here. He has such a great arc, you know, great redemption arc throughout the entire trilogy. And Adam Driver gives such a great performance. Like, Kylo is gotta be one of my favorites for sure. Next we got L3. I mean, L3 is fine, you know. They use her head for the hyperdrive, or not the the like Nava computer for the Falcon. She's just kind of there. She just dies. I wasn't really too sad when she died, so you know, whatever. It is what it is. Lobot. I don't know where to put Lobot. I mean, I'll put him a little bit, but Lobot, I don't know. Lobot helps out. Next is Maz Kanata. I'm gonna put Maz in the A tier. Yeah, Maz, she's just great. She just has this great, like, energy. Just kind of instantly felt like a classic Star Wars-y character. Oh, man. Next, we got Nine Nub himself. I'm gonna put Nine Nub in the A tier. My friends and I just always joke about Nine Nub. I mean, he just looks so goofy. The way that he speaks is just really funny. The fact that he is still alive in the sequel trilogy, it's just great. I mean, he keeps on fighting. Okay, next is, I don't know this girl's name. She's the dancer girl that Jabba throws into the pit. Same with Uncle Owen. I'm just gonna put him in C. Next up we have Paige, Rose's sister. I'm gonna put her in the B tier because she gets a great scene where she drops the bombs, you know, it's like slow-mo, she grabs the remote. Captain Phasma, I think, goes like top of the B tier because she's so cool. I mean, like, her armor has got to be like, she's one of the coolest in Star Wars, but she really is not featured that much in the movies. Hopefully they do with her what they did with Boba Fett. Next is Poe Dameron. Oh man, I really love Poe. I'm actually gonna put Poe in the S tier because I think Poe has a really great character arc. He learns to become a leader, you know, and eventually becomes the general of the Resistance, filling in for Leia. All right, next we have Kira from Solo. I'm gonna put her in the C tier because it's like, she's cool and like she's you know, she's interesting, but it's just so weird for me to see Han with someone else besides Leia. And it's like, I know he's young, of course Han Solo is gonna have many love interests in his life. Admiral Aratus. I'm gonna put this man in the B tier. Fun fact, the ship in The Last Jedi is named the Aratus. All right, is this even a character? I'll put him in C tier. Like, this is just the Rancor. Patissa, actually, I believe we have a name. Patissa, it's not Moochie, guys. It is not Moochie. All right, getting down to the wire, folks. Next up, we have Rey. And Rey, I am going to slide in up here in the S tier. Rey is just like, instantly became just such a classic Star Wars protagonist, I feel like. There's no doubt her story is very similar to Luke, but Rey's story is very different from Luke's in that she's more of a loner. You know, Luke is searching for adventure, where Rey is searching for, like, somewhere to fit in, some sort of family, basically. I just find her journey throughout the sequel trilogy to be really great. And I mean, Daisy Ridley gives a great performance. All right, next up is Monkey. What is this guy's name? Rio. Wow, I can't believe I remembered his name. Fun fact, he was played by Jon Favreau. I'm gonna put him in the B tier, because I don't know, he's got like 4 arms, he's a little monkey guy. Okay, next is, oh man, Saw Gerrera has to go in the A tier, just because of how much we've seen of him. He began in the Clone Wars, we saw him in Rogue One, we see him in Rebels. I mean, this man is showing up everywhere. We just saw him in the Bad Batch. He may be a bit radical in his ways, but he's willing to get the job done at the end of the day. Oh man, getting down to the wire here. Next is Salacious Crumb. This is an F tier character. He's just annoying. Okay, this is another one. I'm like, is this even a character? Sarlacc Pit. Like, I'll just put it in the C tier. Oh my gosh, this guy. I don't know his name. I'm just gonna put him in the C tier. Okay, this is an interesting one. We have Supreme Leader Snoke. I'm gonna put him like more towards the top of the C tier, I think. Snoke was a character with much intrigue at the beginning, and I think ultimately he was a disappointing character. Even though it's like, you know, his death served Kylo Ren's story, so I like that, but Snoke himself is just not very interesting. Next is Grand Moff Tarkin. This guy is like the original Star Wars villain. I'm gonna rank him quite highly up in this A tier, because Grand Moff Tarkin is just, you know, he's the OG Star Wars villain, and he was a great villain. All right, coming up next is, okay, I think this one's Taun We. You guys know I always mix up the Kaminoan names. The Kaminoans are they just make me uncomfortable, at least in the prequel trilogy. They have been expanded upon quite a bit in the Bad Batch, in some interesting ways. Next up is Rose. Good old Rose. I think I'm gonna put Rose here in the C tier, right next to Jar Jar for being one of the most hated upon Star Wars characters. Guys, Rose definitely just does not deserve the hate. Like, do I think she's an amazing character? Not necessarily. Do I think she could be? Yeah, for sure, if she was expanded upon more in maybe a show or something. But yeah, I mean, Kelly Marie Tran, honestly, she gives a great performance as Rose. Rose is really not that bad. Up next is Shaak Ti. I'm actually gonna put Shaak Ti in the A tier next to some of these other just like background Jedi characters, because I just really like what they do with her in the Clone Wars, particularly Clone Wars 2003. If you guys haven't seen that, go check it out. Okay, next is this guy from Utapau. This guy goes in the D tier. He makes me uncomfortable. He's got weird looking teeth. His skin is weird. I just do not enjoy looking at him while he's on the screen. Okay, Unkar Plutt. I mean, C tier? I don't know. Next up is Val from Solo. I mean, I think she's like cooler than like most of these guys, probably. I'll just put her here. I don't know. Dryden Voss is one that is honestly growing on me. I'll put him in the B tier. Wampa, once again, it's like, is this a character? Oh man, we got a good one here, guys. We got Wicket. I have to, this tier list is so massive, I gotta scroll up. Guys, Wicket is going in the A tier. Folks, you know here on Trench's Fleet, we are big fans of the Ewoks. Come on. It's Wicket, guys. All right, next is Snap Wexley. I'm gonna put this guy right up here next to Wedge. No, I can't put him above Wedge. I'll put him like right here. Snap has some funny moments. Oh man, Babu Frick. How can you hate Babu Frick? This guy's gotta go in the A tier. All right, next up is this guy who was in Lord of the Rings. Oh my gosh, General Pride. I thought that he was like such a good villain. Coming down to the wire here, folks. Zori Bliss. I think Zori Bliss is like honestly like really cool. I'm gonna stick her up top of the B tier. She has one of the best lines, I think, from The Rise of Skywalker when she says, "They win by making you think you're alone." Something like that. Next up is Janna. I'm pretty sure that's her name. I'm also gonna put her up here towards the top of the B tier because I thought she was also a really cool character that I would love to see more of. Dio is another good little droid. I'm gonna put him in the B tier as well. Oh man, only 2 left. One of them being Mon Mothma. And I think she's gotta go like top of the B tier here. They really expand on her a lot in like Rebels, Rogue One, even a bit in Clone Wars. And lastly, guys, this is a strange character to end on. Zam Wesell, the bounty hunter changeling from Attack of the Clones. I don't really like Zam Wesell. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Man, that was a lot of characters to get through, but here you have it, guys. Here is my Star Wars character tier list. I'm just gonna go ahead and scroll up here from some lower tiers and make our way all the way up to S tier. Guys, hope you enjoyed this video. It might be kind of hard to drop all of your character rankings down in the comments, but you know what? Let me know your top 10 favorite Star Wars characters down in the comments below. Just any amount of your favorite Star Wars characters. Just go for it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more Star Wars content, and I will catch you in the next video.